And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. With me, I have my good friend Don from the Multiverse of Geekdom. We're going to be reviewing Dixieland. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. And a matter of fact, I actually had a chance to chat with William a couple of years ago. A matter of fact, I actually did another review for him back whenever I was first doing the Hollyshorts Film Festival, and that movie is called Alone. I definitely recommend people to check that out when you guys get a chance. But this film, Dixieland, has actually stars Tony Todd. Not only does it star Tony Todd, but this is also premiered at the Holy Shorts on August 14th. So, with further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's get on with it. I'm excited to be able to talk about this.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Don?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about this short. It was I thought it was really well done. I thought it was very well done. Short.
Oh, I did too. I definitely liked it. Whenever, matter of fact, when he ended up sending it to me, when William ended up sending this to me, whenever he said, "Oh, Tony Todd's in this movie," I'm like, "Wait, Candyman's in this movie, and it's a Civil
Right,
War
right.
movie." I'm like, sign me up right now. I have to see this. Not only am I a big history nerd, but it's just one of those movies that will grab your attention right away because it focuses on the war itself and the Civil War area. And then it goes into this whole entire deal where now you have like a one room scenario with him talking to somebody else. But I definitely like
Mhm.
how it sets up everything.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I agree. I'm definitely a war buff of all times, but definitely a Civil War and history buff too. And I like the way this sort of tackled a sort of a moment for kind of in this, you know what I mean? Obviously it's written, but I still enjoyed the just flow of the scene. I thought it was a really well done scene. I thought it was really great too.
Yeah, the thing that I really have to say was this. Okay, so when we actually see Tony Todd, when we actually see this guy, and not only that, but he does when basically what winds up happening is this. Okay, guys. So in, Tony actually plays a Black Union physician. After his regiment is destroyed, he flees into the Virginia woods, stumbling on a
Yeah,
Confederate soldier holding in a cave. They share a fire and try to find a moment of understanding before the sun comes up. So I like the
excuse me.
fact that you have two strangers that are on two sides of the war,
Yep.
and Tony Todd is plays basically a medic, and we actually know a little bit of small details within the other guy who's actually in this cave. And I like how right off the bat you actually see the camera pan angle over to the gun, that the shotgun that he has, and then there's also the banjo that the guy has,
Yeah.
and so I definitely like how whenever you see Tony's character come in and this guy is asking him to stay. And then all of a sudden he winds up taking the shotgun and wanting Tony to stay in the cave with him. And what was your thoughts and your first initial thoughts when you see that?
Yeah, again, I think it's a very interesting moment in history where sort of, you know, this guy knows he's dying. And he kind of makes the decision that like you said, basically makes him stay. Um, but without spoiling anything, it's a very, very interesting dialogue these two have with each other, and there's a really great last line, I guess I'd say, in this. I think actually really kind of hits the heart of the point of the short. I think for me at least. Um, so yeah, I really like the setup of this. I really like the way it plays out. I think it's edited well. Again, the dialogue I think is great, and Tony Todd is amazing. I mean, and the guy that plays Confederate, he's really good too. Also.
Yeah, Tony is definitely a standout in this. And then, of course, like you said, without spoiling anything, you see trying to get perspectives on two sides of the coin here and how Tony is a medic, how he came up to be a medic, and then you have that split
Yeah,
of a dialogue of why the guy is even injured in the first place and why he's dying. And you actually feel for both characters. They're both stuck in this situation.
sure.
within this war itself. And they're trying to come to an understanding and a balance of each other by the end of this short film. And that's something that you guys can debate at the end of the film and everything of how they do it and everything. I'm not going to go into spoilers with it, but I
Yeah,
do want to say this. I thought the way that William captured the lighting in this with the cave, I like the dark tone of it, where you have a little bit of lightness with a little bit of darkness in this, and it captures death and life and death. And that's what
yeah.
I figured was the black and whites. When you see it pan angle over to the other character, you already know that he's dying. And then you see this black and white moment where basically Tony's in a little bit of color, but not much. This emulates life. And then you also have,
Mhm.
of course, the guy that's dying who emulates death. And, you know, I definitely like that kind of tone and that kind of vibe because of the parallels within the
Sure.
two worlds itself between life and death.
Yeah, definitely. And the one scene for at least a minute or so, there's a scene where the only real light or color in anything is the fire in the
Yeah.
background kind of burning, which I think was a real a cool way to use the tone also, in the background, basically. Yeah, like you said, showing the opposite of where these two are kind of right now. And there's a choice that the guy that's dying makes, which I don't know if I understand. I don't know if I understand it, but I get it. I understand for the time period why it makes sense. I just don't know if I get it. So, but we'll talk about that later off there. But
Right.
I don't know what to do next. But yeah, I really like the way this is put together and played out. Yeah, I think it's really well done.
Well, another thing though too is this,
Yeah,
okay? So
sure.
I like also too where basically we don't know how he got the shotgun, and then all of a sudden we realize, oh, this is actually from the battlefield. And he
Yeah.
winded up stealing it from a general, and then Tony's character basically calls him out on it. And I like how he says, "So what's your name? Is your name Chuck?" He goes, "Do I look like a Chuck? Chuck is actually a nicer face than what I have." And I don't know, I
Mhm.
still get goosebumps when I hear Tony talk, where
Oh
basically he's
yeah,
like,
he's
"Yeah,
great.
this is not a guy that I would actually name Chuck,"
Yeah,
you know?
no, right. Yeah, yeah, he is. He's so great, and I love actors that use pauses, right? You know what I mean? That use sort of dead time just as well as they use when they're talking really well. And I think he's one of those people that is still interesting to watch even when he's not talking. Um, so yeah, him sort of having this conversation, but also you can tell he's having an internal conversation the whole time of how he feels about this at the moment. So I really do like that. I like that he does sort of play that out, and you can really see it in his face. Um, I think they're both kind of doing that though too. Really,
Yeah, they're both great in
yeah,
that scene too. But you know what else really captures this though too is I like
sure,
how, you actually have Tony where he's actually trying to save lives and there's ways of actually winning the war. For his way of winning is not to carry a gun, it's to provide a service to these soldiers, to sew them up and
yeah,
patch them up. And by him healing them, he's winning the war because he's helping them heal with their injuries versus killing people. And I
yeah.
think that the other soldier is like either is killed or be killed. That's the way I seen it into his lenses. I don't know if that's how you see it or not, but I figure it's either
Yeah,
be killed or be killed because he's a someone on the battlefield per se or something.
yeah, it sort of reminds me of what's the movie with is it Andrew Garfield where he doesn't use
Oh, I
guns
know.
and
Hashtag rig.
yes, sort of has that kind of vibe. How he's sort of talking about, like you said, he feels like he can save more lives than he needs to kill. I think yeah, it's a really interesting
Yeah, Hacksaw
movie.
Ridge was the name of the movie that you're thinking of, Don.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting point of view that he has, though. Yeah, I mean, especially in wartime because it is kill or be killed, and to be able to be a pacifist sort of in that moment is a tough decision to make. So yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about is the music choice, but at the end of the film. The music choice
Okay.
for me feels like Tom Waits. It has that kind of vibe to it. And if you don't know who Tom
Soundtrack,
Waits is,
yeah.
they actually did a song on The Walking Dead where basically it goes into the next season where they're all waiting outside of the jail, and
Uh,
and the girl is singing a Tom Waits song of "Hold On." The Dixieland version sounds just like Tom Waits, and I like the fact that they put a slower tone to it to give you that Dixieland kind of flavor, that feel of war to it.
mm,
And that also too, it also can also mean another thing too, where a soldier might die or something like that in that kind of context. And Dixieland is basically where not only the basically where everything happened, but it could also mean that be death though too.
sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I did like that song at the end. I did like that a lot. It was a good song.
But as far as anything else, I mean, is there anything else that you say that stands out for you, or is that
Um, Again, without being able to spoil anything, no. There is a few things that he talks about with his dad and things like that. Why he's a doctor, why he became a physician, which I think is interesting. But then just can't really talk about too much of it. So, but yeah,
right? Because I
again,
want
I just think
everyone. Right.
okay.
No, no, no. Go on ahead, Don. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go on ahead.
I just think it's a very well put together dialogue short. So if you're looking for something to sort of just kind of hit you in the feels, definitely check this out. It's one of those
Yes.
type of shorts.
And it's no wonder why this is actually part of the Hollyshorts selected film for the
Sure.
festival, because it clocks in at 15 minutes, but within those 15 minutes, you have characterization of the characters. You understand what these characters are going through. You have
Hmm.
good storytelling. You have good direction. You have good lighting, because in a cave area and everything, it's actually hard to do lighting.
Hmm.
And he managed to capture everything that they needed to be said. There's a great message here for this, and it's about, for me, this film is basically about trying to understand other people in other ways of how
Oh,
people
cool.
think, and try to come up with ways, even though you may not agree with them, but try to find ways to respect them anyways, despite how you might feel about somebody.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Um, yeah, I don't really have much to wrap up on. I would say definitely check this movie out. It's really short out. I think it's definitely worth a watch. It's very interesting. Very interesting take.
If you like this film, Don, you should check out Alone. Alone is like a one character kind of film, and it's a great sci-fi short film that I got to review back in 2020 when I was first doing the Holly Shorts Film Festival. Great film. I definitely recommend it. It stuck with me for the last 3 years, and I still remember
Cool.
that film like it was yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, definitely have to look it up.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, that's going to be it as far as this review goes. Thank you so much for joining us. Another thing, too, is thank you to William. I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to
Yeah.
review your film again. Send me any film that you have coming out or whatever. I'll review it for you. Like I said, I still remember you. I still remember reviewing Alone. I still love that film. One other thing, tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, I will be doing a movie news show coming up, and it's a little bit more revamped. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. But go ahead and check that out at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.